probably the most important building block when you're creating either a short story or a novel is the scene. And the book I want to recommend to you immediately is The Scene Book by Sandra Schofield, a text I have used in almost every creative writing class I've ever taught, including novel writing, because it really breaks down what a scene does. It really shows you what to do in order to create little pieces that are eventually going to tell a longer story. So I've crafted this handout based on her work, but also adding in some ideas for various different kinds of sex scenes. And I've done a lecture about writing effective sex scenes, and some of that information is in here as well. So let's just go over this pretty quickly. You also have access to this handout. So, her book really goes through, and there are great writing exercises as well that help you create all of these things. So if you get a copy of that book, you can just go through the exercises, and all of this will become very clear in your own work. So the first idea is every scene has an event and emotion. Characters do and feel things. So characters have to do something. A lot of the times, early fiction writers, beginning fiction writers, will just sort of have a carrot. Early fiction writers have a carrot. I think that's your point. Anyway, fiction writers have characters maybe sitting in a room and thinking. So they might feel things, but it's really also very good that they do things, because you do not want summary of what they did or have done or will do, nor do you just want to have them sitting in a room thinking about the past, reflecting. Also, these events need a reason to happen. So Sue is upset because her mother called her a bitch at her 50th birthday party. That has a reason to happen, and then what happens after that has a reason to happen based on hurt and betrayal. So then this scene needs a place to happen. It needs a setting. So this happened at the 50th birthday party at a rented room at the local Hilton. And there needs to be a feeling associated with them. Well, Sue could actually be really happy, because what if this means that Sue finally gets to break up with her mother, finally, after 50 years of dealing with this woman, it's over. Or she could just be continually upset and hurt by her mother, and that the feeling is regret and sadness and guilt. Okay. I for some reason, changed it to a bachelor party. The bachelor party at the country club, the groom and the best man talking on the steps. The best man tells the groom about the bride's cheating ways. Okay, so we're there. We know we're there for a reason. That there's a wedding coming up, and the best man's worried about the groom. Frankly, I think the best man's probably the one sleeping with the bride, but that's another story, quite literally. Every scene has a function. So if you're thinking of an arc of a story, that every scene is developing the conflict, or it's the conflict, or it's the resolution of the conflict. So every scene has a purpose, it has a function, and it's active and it's not summarized. Every scene will introduce new plot elements. The best man tells the groom in one scene, and the next scene the groom confronts the bride, and the next scene the bride confronts the best man, and then they have sex again because they've been cheating with each other for years, that kind of thing. Then the groom walks in the next scene, and then there is a terrible fight, and who knows, I hope it doesn't end tragically, but I'm clearly creating this terrible story with an arc of a violent ending. So, but you see how they all fit together like a train going up a hill, the little engine that could and did. Okay. It reveals something new about character. We learn, for instance, that the best man is really a manipulative guy, and it sets up a situation that will be important later. So the idea that and also, do you really need the scene? Sometimes you can summarize it. I mean, you have to be able to summarize it, a story. Maybe this could have been a 2-line thing. Maybe after he told his best friend Jim that his bride-to-be Sue was going to cheat on him, Alex walked back into the hotel. Okay, the first scene could start in the lobby. Maybe Sue's there, and they run away together. And that creates another story. Every scene has a structure, a beginning, middle, and end. It's a mini story. It's contained as a boxed up. There are beats to it and movement. So I just think of them as boxes that you fill up with this arc that is fitting in with these other arcs that are telling your whole story. Why does this happen to me? Here we go. I gotta move this, and then it's coming back. Here it is. There we go. Okay. Every scene has a pulse and a heart. Scenes have emotion and attitude, a state of desire or need. The bachelor actually wants to hear the story because he doesn't want to get married. See, there's a plot point for you. He doesn't want anything to do with her. He's done. It's also a focal point. Where are we looking? What are we seeing? What are you pointing to? So that the reader gets something in particular. With the sex scene is the focal point, the scene of the meeting of the two people, the acquaintance, the acquiescence, the first touch, the penetration or joining. What are you trying to show us with the sex scene? That they really hate each other? That they're not compatible, or that they're star-crossed lovers that will never meet again? What's the point? Another thing to think about is tension. Tension is caused when a question is raised and we are waiting for the answer. So a writer says, "Ooh, look, this is a bad couple," and then we just wait to find out the answer. And here are the questions. Will our characters understand each other? Will they want to be together? If this is our marriage, will they fight? Will they live happily ever after? What is the best man cheating with the bride? Is the groom really gay? What? Here's the question, and then we will read the whole story to get to the answer, because the writer has created this tension, this question. The other thing to think about is we build tension by holding back information from the reader. We tell you in bits and starts. We are manipulators. Writers manipulate. And we add to it by introducing more questions and intensifying the concerns. We end up making the reader uneasy about the harmony of relationships. That can be in this story that we're making up here. Tension advances the story by bringing important questions to the foreground. Tension is released when? So at the end, when you've maybe arced over your climactic moment, adversaries move toward each other positively to resolve tension, when they step back to defer conflict, when they suppress the issue internally to avoid conflict, which is what a lot of people do, especially at a birthday party. No, we won't go there. When they suppress the issue internally, I already said that. When one has a sudden insight that breaks the tension, when one escalates the conflict into direct confrontation. So we're up here, and what is your character going to do? Is the best man going to soft pow the groom? Is this? Are they going to go off as a threesome into the sunset? This is the tension breaking. You break it. You break it open. It's like cracking an egg. You say, "Yeah, I built all this, and then that happened." And then all our questions are sort of answered. In literary fiction, maybe not so much, but some are, and we feel complete. And I think that if you really string together a lot of these tight little boxes, you'll have a story that you'll really be extremely pleased with, and the reader will feel the benefit of all your careful